as a group, we wanted to come out and say thank you to everyone who's worked so hard to make this happen. We're obviously grateful for the outcome today. It's not a happy occasion, but it's something that we can put, one more step behind us. We're all going to move on with our lives, and we're all going to get back to some sense of normalcy, hopefully, when this is all done. So closure, I guess, I don't think so, only because it's forever a part of our life.
All right, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. And joining us now is Kendall Coffey, partner with Coffey Burlington, LLC, former U.S. attorney down in Florida. Kendall, welcome back, sir.
Hey, Steve. Thanks for having me back.
Always my pleasure. All right, so we had Alan Dershowitz on in the previous hour, and he said he doesn't believe that they're going to give him the death penalty in the Boston Marathon bombing. However, when I asked him if he thinks that the same jury would give the death penalty to Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, the mastermind of 9/11, he said yes. They said they would even give it to the older brother, but he doesn't believe they'll give it to the younger brothers. Does that make sense to you?
Well, I think what Professor Dershowitz, who's obviously one of the great legal talents and leaders of our generation, from an attorney perspective, I think what he's pointing to is that this defendant, clearly guilty of terrible crimes, was not a leader, was a follower. Now, followers get put on death row, but the question is if he's a follower, if he was not nearly so involved in the planning, the bomb-making stage, and was in some fashion dominated by his older brother, could that cause maybe two or even just a single juror to say life in prison is punishment enough? Because you've got to have a unanimous verdict under the federal system to put someone on death row. And I think that there are certainly reasons to believe that this is not as sure a case as you would have with Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, or for that matter, with Tamerlane Tsarnaev had he survived the fatal encounter with police.
They're very interesting. Don't sell yourself short either, sir. You're one of the great legal voices of our time as well. Let me ask you about this story, which, my goodness, if I'll say this, if this had been the other way around, if this had been an executive order issued by George W. Bush and a judge said, no, it's unconstitutional, and hey, by the way, the Bush lawyers lied to me, my God, but no one's really talking about this, and I'm not surprised. But nonetheless, the judge who ruled that the Obama executive order on immigration was unconstitutional for various reasons, it now says that he refuses to restart what that order would have done, which is basically some call amnesty. And he also said that the attorneys had lied to him, and that Obama, in a speech that he gave in February, basically warned the people who are in charge of enforcing the immigration law, you better not enforce the immigration law. He's ticked off about that too.
Well, I would speculate that the attorneys did not know that their client, the United States of America, was in fact already processing these amnesty applications, or these, you could call them different things, but because no attorney would ever want to expose his career, his professional reputation, which is everything you have as a lawyer, to a federal judge who strongly disagrees with your position, and then be doing something behind the back and contrary to the directives of the federal judge. So obviously this is a very, very troubling scenario. I don't know what happened, but I'd be surprised if the attorneys actually knew what was going on. Because one thing about the government, there are a lot of different compartments and a lot of different ways for people to not know what some other people are doing, and even to say they don't know innocently.
Yeah, no, I bet. And one more.
Now, I'm not excusing whoever
I
was processing this, because everyone in the country knew about the judge's order.
If we could fit this in a minute, the first, the state of California is advancing a bill that will require vaccinations for just about every child. No more opting out on religious grounds, just health reasons. Is that going to hold constitutional muster?
Well, if I were deciding it, it would not. If I were deciding it, I would respect the wishes of a child and a child's parents that had religious beliefs that would be transgressed by vaccinations. Don't know what the courts would do, because some of these religious beliefs have not been getting all the validation you thought they might. But if I were the judge, I'd say this statute cannot override the religious convictions of the children and their parents.
Always great talking to you, sir. Thank you very much.
Okay, Steve, thanks for having
Kendall
me.
Coffey, ladies and gentlemen. When we come back, I don't know if the arrows are green or if the arrows are red, but we will find out on the Closing Bell Report with Jeff Yasteen. Don't go away.